So, can we clean our karma by doing good work so that our next life can be better? Yes and no. Here's how. Karma, or rather the fruits of the karma. Karma literally is the action. So karma is what we're doing. We use the word to also refer to that which we get. But actually what we get is the fruits of the karma. What we're doing is the karma. Now, here's the thing with karma. It's actually not subjectively good or bad. We put value judgments on it. So we say, oh my God, I lost my job. I must have done something really bad in the past. And that's why I'm getting this bad karma. Or, oh, you won the lottery. You must have done something really good. That's why you've got this good karma. So we've put these labels. But it's actually not like that. It's much more like, I have an apple tree. Therefore, at some point in my past, I must have planted an apple seed. Or I must have invited someone else in to plant an apple seed on my property. I love apples. Great. Feels like good karma. I'm allergic to apples. I break out in hives every time I even look at an apple. I'm going to see that as really bad karma. But actually all they are is apples. Karma, the law of karma, has no judgment about whether apples are good or bad. I've got a judgment about them. And so much of our judgment is actually, interestingly, subjective. Think for a moment. You are driving down the street in Delhi. You stop your car at any of the numerous intersections, and you see children living by the side of the road. Right? They're half naked. They're living in makeshift tents on the side of the road. If you happen to be someone who thinks about karma, you might think, oh my God, thank God I did something good in some past life that here I am, warm and comfortable in this car, eating popcorn or potato chips or whatever I'm snacking on while I'm going along, driving to my comfortable house. You look at them and you feel like, God, I've got great karma. I did something great. Thank you, God, for giving me the buddhi to do whatever the good karma I did was that has now put me in this comfortable car compared to these guys. Now fast forward, perhaps only 5 minutes, perhaps a week, perhaps a year, whenever it may be. You're driving your same car down the street. Next to you pulls up a Mercedes. In that Mercedes is a guy about your age. And you can see he's got his arm like this, and he's got some super, super, super expensive watch, and it's got diamonds. You can even see them through the window on his hand. And next to him in the car is a woman who, in your eyes, is like, Miss Universe. And, okay, now you look and you think, oh my God, what did I do? Right? God, I really wish I had this guy's karma. What did I do wrong that I got stuck in this car? And this guy's got the Mercedes. So I give those two quick examples because sometimes whether something's good or bad, even in our own subjective mind, varies minute to minute and moment to moment. I mean, how many people have ever gotten something that you thought was fantastic, you'd really wanted it, only to realize after, oh my God, what had I prayed for? Right? They say, be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. Meaning, we have no idea. You think you really want something, you get it, it turns out to be a disaster. And sometimes the opposite. Something happens, you think, oh my God, this is a disaster. Turns out to be a blessing. So that's really important to realize, is that there's no sense of good or bad in that way. Then, doing good deeds. So here's the other aspect about karma. Because the law of karma is not seeing it as good or bad, it doesn't actually cancel each other out. It's not like your bank account, where if you put in 100 rupees and take out 100 rupees, your account is zero. Or if you're overdrawn by 100 rupees, okay, you've got a negative balance. You can put in 25 times, you can put in 50 twice, you can put in 100 once, and now however you want to make it up, now your account is balanced. Unfortunately, karma is not like that. So whatever we do, whether it's good, whether it's bad, it goes in our karmic bank account. And the fruit of that, whether the fruit is sweet or whether the fruit is bitter, whether we see it as good karma or bad karma, we still have to come back to get it. It's still a cage. It may be a golden cage. It may be a cage with Wi-Fi. Maybe a cage where we get to eat all of what we want to eat, but it's still a cage, regardless of what it's made of. But we're still chained by the law of karma. We still have to come back until the karmic balance is nil. So then, of course, the question comes up, and this is a nice place to end tonight. The question comes up, well, then how in the world do I get it balanced? I mean, if doing good deeds isn't going to free me of this whole debt, then what is? And this is what Lord Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita. He says the only way. It's not about doing the good deeds. Because a lot of times when we do good deeds, we still see ourselves as the doer, right? I'm the good one. I'm the philanthropist. I'm the humanitarian. Why hasn't anybody given me an award this week? Why aren't these people appreciating me? Look how much I'm doing. So there's doership. It's not bad. It's just doership. It's there. It exists. It's human. It's ego. This is what I did. Well, as long as there's an I who's doing, you're getting karma. Now, the karma is going to be sweet. You're building schools. You're feeding poor people. It's going to be sweet karma. But you're still going to have to come back to eat it. The only way to not have karmic accrual is to recognize you're not the doer. And this is what Lord Krishna emphasizes in the Gita, is just surrender to me. This is where, this is what in essence the whole Gita is about, right? Arjun begins with, forget it, I'm not going to fight the war. I don't want to be a bad guy. Imagine the karma of killing your guru, right? It doesn't get any worse than that. If you had to imagine what would put you in karmic hell forever, killing your guru is like right up there. Killing your family members, right up there. So here Arjuna is, seeing this battlefield. There's his gurus, there's his family. Forget it. A, I'm a good person. I'm a dharmic man. Dharmic people don't do things like this. B, I don't want the karma. Forget it. And Lord Krishna basically says, oh yeah? And since when have you become the doer? Since when have you become the one who decides who lives and who dies? Really? Really, you're the one. You pick up that arrow, they're going to die. You put down the arrow, they live. Since when have you become the all-powerful? You don't decide that, Arjun. I decide that. Surrender yourself to me. Be a tool in my hands. And that's the teaching, is give up the doership. Now, of course, just in conclusion, it's always an important caveat with that. That doesn't mean that we go out and we do horrendous things and we say, well, I'm not the doer anyway. It's not a cop-out. It's not a rationalization. It's not a justification. It's not an excuse. Because when you actually have the awareness that Lord Krishna was giving Arjuna in the Gita, of not being the doer, of being the soul, of being the divine, being one with all of creation. Well, that's just as crucial an element as being aware that you're not the doer. So it's always important to remember, if you go out and you do bad things, you're going to get the karmic fruit. The same way as if you do good things, you're going to get the karmic fruit. And the fruit of what you do that's good is going to be sweet. The fruit of what you do that's not good is going to be bitter. But if ultimately your goal, instead of being sweet fruit, is to be free of it all, that comes when you recognize that you're not the doer anyway. And that you just let the divine flow through you. That it's not about me, it's not about my ego, it's not about what I want, it's not about how I think things should be, it's not about what for me. As Pujya Swamiji always says, it's not about what for me, but what through me. What through me. And that's the only way to actually free yourself of the cycle. So do good work, absolutely. At least what you know is in the worst case scenario, the fruit you're getting is sweet. And in a best case scenario, if as you do it, you're able to really deeply know, I'm not the doer. Oh God, thank you for using me as a vessel of your goodness. Thank you for using me as a vehicle of your goodness. Thank you for allowing your goodness to flow through me. Then you'll find yourself free of it all.